Hello everyone, I hope you are doing great. Welcome to this new course concerning paragraph writing. It is addressed to students at university who study this module in the first semester or the second semester. So today's course is about paragraph writing, as you can see from the title. And the main objectives are to learn the basic components of paragraph and to be familiar with all or almost the main mechanics involved in writing and composing such pieces of writing. So I'm going to go over the outline just to give you an idea of what the course is going to be about. So the outline is going to or includes the following: components of a paragraph, types of sentences, and coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. So to start with, the components of a paragraph are as follows. The first component is the topic sentence. That is the first sentence in the paragraph. It can be in the middle or at the end, but it doesn't matter. So here the topic sentence introduces the main idea that the paragraph is going to speak about. The second one is supporting detail or supporting details. So these are like sentences that support the thesis statement or the topic sentence. These are examples, reformulations, explanations, among others. And then we have concluding sentence. So this is the last sentence in the paragraph, and it summarizes the main content of the paragraph. The second thing that you should be aware of is this distinction between a phrase and clause. So phrase is a group of words that do not have a verb, like an NP, noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, positional phrase. So here the head of each phrase is, for example, in the NP we have the noun, in the EP we have the adjective, in the adverbial phrase we have the adverb, and in the prepositional phrase we have the preposition. Well, clause is a group of words that have a verb. An independent clause can stand alone and it has a complete thought. Dependent clause cannot stand alone. So this is like the distinction between an independent clause on the one hand and a dependent clause in the other hand. Concerning types of sentences, based on the types of clauses, so we have simple sentences, which we have just one independent clause. We have compound sentences in which we have two independent clauses linked by fanboys, that is for, and, no, but, or, yet, or so. We have complex sentences which have one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. And then we have compound and complex sentences in which we have two independent clauses and one or more dependent clause or clauses. So we have again this difference between coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. They link two clauses and they have coordinating conjunctions. So coordinating conjunctions, we have fanboys, as I said, we have for, and, no, but, or, yet, or so. And then we have subordinating conjunctions in which we have, for instance, when, where, how, because, etc. In which so the subordinating conjunctions are attached to subordinate clauses or dependent clauses. So these are like the main differences between the two. So one difference between subordinating and coordinating conjunctions, that is another difference, is that subordinating conjunctions cannot be placed at the beginning and end of a sentence. If it is in the middle, you don't need to write a comma. So this is like another difference. Subordinating conjunctions, we have adverbial clauses that tell when, why, how, etc. the action and when the independent clause takes place. They can express time and order, they can express purpose, they can express condition, they can express cause and effect, and they can express even manners. So the second type is relative clause. So relative clauses describe a particular noun. They can be defining or non-defining. And the last type of subordinating conjunctions, or we have noun clauses. So they act as a noun. It can be sentence, subject, object of the verb, or object of the preposition. It begins with words like what, who, that, if, and where. So here, although the title is about subordinating conjunctions, here we are talking about clauses that have such subordinating conjunctions, which may function as adverbials. So quiz 1, I'm going to ask you some questions, or one question in fact. So identify the type of the following sentences. We have: the university's faculty and administrative staff have decided to go on strike. So here tell me which type of sentence is this. Is it, for instance, the simple sentence, compound sentence, or complex sentence? So this is the question that I want to know. Which is the type, or in other words, what is the type of this sentence? So this is like the question. I want to know what this type is. The second one is: the movie did not meet the expectation of the producers, nor did it appease the moviegoers. The third one is: the weather got progressively worse, but the hikers continued their climb. The second quiz is about what kind of dependent clause is the all bold and italic part of this sentence. The decision to close the local park was met with anger, even though it had been planned for many years. Nobody knew when the announcement would be made. The crowd who had been waiting in the rain all day were finally allowed to enter the stadium. Participle, phrase, and clause. So we have examples of participle phrases. We have: the book written by my teacher, the man standing on the bridge, and it is used here as an adjective. Why? Because it precedes a noun and describes a noun. Participle clause, it is used as an adverb. It is determined to defeat his competitors. The athlete trained non-stop for the competition. So determined to defeat his competitors. So this is a participle clause that functions as an adverb. Quiz number 3. So question: is the bold and italic part of this or of the sentence below participle phrase or participle clause? Like: the photos taken the day before the artist's death were sold for millions at the auction. So taken the day before the artist's death, is it participle phrase or participle clause? Another one: encouraged with the test result, the scientists continued to work in the lab. So again, the same question. So think about this. You can pause the video. Compound complex sentences, these are different types of sentences. They are made up of at least two independent clauses, one or more dependent clause or clauses. So for example, like compound complex sentence, we have, for example, I like tea, but my friend dislikes coffee, although he works in a coffee shop, for instance. Okay, so this is a compound complex sentence. Then we have a quiz: identify the number of independent and dependent clauses in the following sentence. Although the school tried its best to resolve the issue, many students who had paid for the trip were upset, so they filed a complaint to the governors. So this is the end of the course. If you have questions or remarks, do not hesitate to post them below, and see you in another tutorial.